Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to my YouTube channel. This little mini series is going to be all about my recent trip to Europe, where I got to partake in some volunteer positions and do a little bit of exploring, and you're going to see my traveling trip through my lens. And I thought it'd be really cool to be able to document this little mini series because everyone does different things when they're traveling. I fortunately have the opportunity to be overseas for exactly 37 days, and I got to do some really amazing things. And whilst I'm filming this episode, I'm actually only halfway through. So I'm really excited to be able to take you guys through this mini series. In terms of profession, in terms of career, I'm a certified Wim Hof Method instructor, now level 2, which is pretty cool. And I'm also a fitness professional and also sports nutritionist. Now, within this, part of this trip was about upskilling within the Wim Hof Method. So I'm now a level 2 instructor as I film this video, which is amazing. You're going to see that little part of the mini series in videos to come. But this trip was also about doing some volunteering, upskilling in that aspect, connecting with other people, and also doing a little bit of exploring as well. So I'm going to take you guys through all of that too. Now, of course, before we get into today's little mini series, yes, I am sitting in a driveway. The theme of this trip is whatever it takes. That was something that we created in the Wim Hof Method Center in France, which this episode is going to be all about. So I suppose I'll take you through just a little bit of the travel heading overseas. I had 3 connecting flights, and then I flew for the first time to Singapore first, then flew to Amsterdam, and then flew to Marseille in France, which was absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, what really sucked was that I didn't realize Vegemite would come under a liquid. I thought it would be a food, and I put it on my carry-on just in case. Before I even left Australia, they confiscated the 3 customized Vegemite jars that I had created, which was really disappointing because I really wanted to be able to give those as a gift because, you know, Vegemite, Australia, like totally awesome gift. And they got confiscated. So lesson learned, guys, is that don't take food that, even though it says grams, don't take food. Don't take anything because I'll just take it off you. So anyways, I traveled over to Marseille and the beautiful Hannah actually picked me up. And it was so funny because Hannah picked me up. She flew in pretty much the same time I did from Ireland. So she's Irish. And it was really awesome to be able to see her. And then what was meant to be a 2-hour trip to the Wim Hof Method Center in France ended up being about 4.5 hours because we took a wrong turn. There was roadblocks at the time and it just ended up being really chaotic. So we had a really nice long drive and a really nice catch up. So Leandre is actually the person who runs the Wim Hof Method Center in France. Hannah and Mike have been assisting, which is pretty cool. Now, I did my level 1 training of the Wim Hof Method with all of them. Leandre was actually my facilitator, one of my facilitators, and Hannah and Mike actually came through in the same intake, which was pretty cool. So we actually got to rendezvous at this expedition that I fortunately had the wonderful privilege of being a volunteer for. So yes, it wasn't a paid position, but I'm a really big believer in the fact that experience and memories is worth more than anything. And I got the opportunity to be able to go and assist as the first Australian at the Wim Hof Method Center in France, which actually only just recently opened a couple of months ago at the time of recording this, which is pretty cool. So during this week, I hadn't actually seen them at all for a whole year. I only just actually met them last year, but I had the privilege of being invited by Leandre back to come and assist. And I feel so happy that I got to be able to have that opportunity. So I was actually there for about 10 days, a couple of days either side, which was awesome. Now, the winter expedition entails like going deep within the Wim Hof Method. Like we go deeper in the breath work, go deeper in cold exposure, go deeper in mindset training. We have a lot of connection, we meet new people. It's like one of the best weeks of your life that you'll ever experience as a participant. But also being an instructor, as an assistant instructor on the other side, still one of the best weeks ever. And it was absolutely so amazing. And the Wim Hof Method Center France is just set up so amazingly well. When I got there, in true style of myself, which you'll come to learn, is after about 60 hours of travel, so lots of connecting flights and driving and a couple of delayed things, 60 hours of travel, broken sleep, went to sleep. Next morning we get up, Hannah and I go and do about a 12-kilometer hike up the mountain in the snow. So I'll show you a little snippet here. It was amazing. It was the best way to be welcomed into France, best way to start my day. I love being out in nature, and I had that opportunity to be able to go out and do this amazing hike with Hannah, which was awesome. So it was really great to be able to connect in that way as well. We went and checked out the trail that we would actually take participants on later that week in the winter expedition, which was super cool. So we did that, and then of course did some cold exposure, hot and cold, all that sort of stuff, chilling out and creating content. So my role, it was like doing a little bit of instructing, so taking some people through some stuff, whether it's breath work, explanations like theory or cold exposure, whatever it might be. And also as a content creator, which is super random. I am not a professional when it comes to this sort of stuff, but the stuff that was created really worked. And that's something I can say really, really proudly, is that through what was created throughout this week, which I'll show you little snippets as we go through this video, you could really feel the essence of what was happening in this expedition. And it was just so much fun to be able to do this on that level as well, because I love capturing and I love creating. So that was heaps and heaps of fun. But before we even started the expedition, we also did a content day. So we had the drone out, we were hanging out in the ice bath. Like, it was really, really fun, just making some really cool videos. And we just had heaps of fun. I loved hearing the fact that they had some memories to take home with them, and that they could really take away the feeling that they had from the expedition with them as they leave, which was really cool. So all in all, it was like an epic week. It was a big week. I was super tired afterwards. So it was like I was experiencing jet lag throughout this week too. So it's funny that like I landed, right? And I felt really fine. I was like, oh yeah, cool, I've slept all right. And then jet lag hit me, like IBS symptoms, tiredness, like I could feel my mood diminishing, like I could notice it. And whereas like last year when I went overseas for the first time, I don't remember getting jet lag, but this time I do. And I was like, maybe it's the food, maybe it's the water, like I've got water filters and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, no, hold on a minute, do a little bit of research. Probably disruption of the circadian rhythm. So within that, you know, that was something that sort of only just went away a couple of days ago. So I had like this big bloated stomach. I was always in pain, but the fun outweighed everything. It was honestly just one of the most freaking epic weeks ever. So I just have to add on the jet lag note, and hopefully this comes through good, is that last year when I came overseas for the first time, I actually did this thing called time shifting, which I'll actually put the link below in the show notes, and it worked. I wasn't jet lagged. So this time I didn't do anything. So it just goes to show that you can actually shift your time by playing around with your light exposure, and it really worked. It really worked. And I might break this down in a little episode in the future about how this did, and I just wish that I did it again. But I highly recommend if you go overseas. So I'm just going to show some little snippets here. So I stopped talking for a little bit so you can see some of the awesome experiences that people got to experience. Here is also one of the outtakes from when we were creating content. Honestly, always makes me laugh.
Hey. Attends, wait. Bonjour, hello, welcome. No, not bonjour. Bonjour and welcome to the Wim Hof Method. Oh, method. Bonjour, welcome to the Wim Hof Method.
So something that I love about like these expeditions is like it gives people a space just to open up and be the human essence of themselves. Like a lot of the conversation, and I've also had this as a participant as well when I've been a participant and not an instructor, is the feeling that you can just be yourself without any judgment. And I'm like, why can't we have this everywhere? Like that's how I love to treat people. I love to have conversations with people and just go, you know, be as you are. Right? Come as you are. If you're emotional, that's fine. If you're happy, that's fine. Like whatever it is. But these spaces like almost give people permission to open up and just be a human. and we connect and we love. And it was just so beautiful to watch these 11 amazing souls come in. None of them, a couple of them knew each other, they came together, but you know, they all formed these beautiful bonds at the end, like a group that was just so solid. And it made me feel just so happy. Like, we just need more of this community and connection, and we just need more of it, right? You know, I think it's really, really important that we have spaces where we can just speak about how we feel. Let men tap into their emotions and not have to be so tough all the time, and let women be the beautiful, soft, nurturing souls that we are, and explore our strengths within, and be in an environment where if things are tough, we can experience it. And if things are, you know, if we can conquer this, like, we can empower others. Like, you know, I just think these are some special, sacred places. And I highly recommend that if you haven't gone to like these sort of retreats and stuff and connected in this way, I highly recommend to do so and go with an open mind. You know, I'll explain this more in the next series, but the Wim Hof Method is just more than just breath work and cold exposure. Like, it's just amazing and life-changing. So I just thought I'd add that. Now, during this time, I made an effort to keep up my fitness as much as possible. So I did make a goal to be able to run a lot more, but I actually only ran once when I was in France. As I film this, I haven't ran actually since either. I just haven't been outside in that aspect to be able to run. I've been hiking lots and doing lots of things, and what I found was in France was that because there was this beautiful room downstairs from where I was staying at the Wim Hof Method Center in France, the house, I was able to wake up in the morning before we had to do everything and actually go downstairs and do my workout. And so I got to, you know, keep up with my fitness in that aspect. Hannah and I actually did a little workout together at 1.2, which was really nice. But we did so much hiking and moving that it just felt okay to be able to go with the flow. I did a lot more stretching than I normally would, because I felt I needed it. So that was really awesome too. Now you might be wondering, what did we eat? Well, this expedition, I didn't film much of the food, which is unfortunate because the food was freaking amazing. But I practically, is that the right word? I pretty much turned into a baguette. Like, I don't know what it is about French bread. Oh my God, it's like chef's kiss, right? Like, it's just so damn good. I ate so many baguettes. Like, we even went to the bakery to get more baguettes because it's so fresh and delicious. And like, you know, I ate like they did. You know, I had like olive oil with my bread and like this beautiful like dukkha. I don't know what you'd call it in French, but it was this beautiful like nut crumble that was with it. And I'd have like lettuce. We'd have some cheese, lots of cheese. Oh my God, so much fromage, cheese. And of course, a little croissant, you know, a couple of croissants. And I like just had the best time eating. I ate so much food. Oh my God. That's why I was like, maybe it's the food I'm eating because I'm not used to eating like that all the time. But no, it was just definitely jet lag that I was feeling that way. But it was amazing. And plus Mike's pancakes. So Mike made these amazing crepes, like pancake crepes, sweet and savory at one point. So one time we had like banana and like this nut butter and honey, which was really beautiful. And then we also had savory pancakes of duck as well, which was so awesome. It was just so like duck and tzatziki. I can never say anything. But we had that as well, and it was just so damn good. And we just always ate together. It was very communal. Like, we'd sit and we'd chat and we'd debrief, and I loved it so much. You know, like, I don't know, back home we don't always eat together. Like, it's always just like, yeah, I'll eat this and you eat whatever you want. We make our own food, whereas like it comes together and we eat together. And I freaking love that. I felt so loved and so like, like it almost at the start for me felt a little bit overwhelming because I'm not used to that. Like, we don't often, like, even my partner and I, like, he's doing his thing and I do my thing. We don't often sit down, and I'm like, I really want that as a ritual for home with my partner, with my family. So who knows, I might vlog about that too later in the future and see how that goes. But I really like that. It was really awesome. After the expedition, which was so amazing, Hannah and I were just chilling. We went and actually did our own waterfall swims, which was really nice. And we just ate lots of yummy things before we flew out. And that leads me to my next trip, which is for my level 2 certification in Wim Hof. So the next video, I'll actually go through what the Wim Hof Method is, what does level 2 entail, and why I went for it, and what did I take away from it. I thought it'd be really cool to put it in that video because I've definitely rambled on in this one. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked the little snippets. And honestly, it's just been so amazing. So I highly recommend going and checking out the Wim Hof Method Center in France. Go and check out their expeditions. I hope to be able to be back in the coming months, whether it's this year or next year, to be able to actually assist and also host my own, which would be amazing. I hope I get more volunteer opportunities around the world, which would be really nice, because it was awesome and I had the best time. And Leandre is so amazing, Hannah is so amazing, Mike is so amazing, and you know, so many people were so amazing, and all the participants were amazing, and the food was amazing, and I just had the best time. It was so amazing. So amazing is the word for this. Yeah, anyways, that's all for this episode, and I hope you had a fun time listening to this. This is my first ever vlog, so let me know below what you think, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. A shit sandwich, please. Positive, negative, positive. The best way to give feedback. Truly, it truly is, because you tell me something nice, and this is what you need to fix, and then something nice to back it up. So it's like, oh, I feel a bit nourished. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. Be sure to like and subscribe. Yes, I've got that down pat. And I'll see you guys on the next part of this series.